In shape, 145.
Yeah.
In shape. You know what I mean? So this is different from a Crawford coming up to 168, but we know his walk around weight is probably 170, 180.
Davis' only shortcoming, pun intended, is his height. He's 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. But as you can see here, he's working on his versatility.
Terence Crawford recently paid a visit to Gervonta Davis ahead of his upcoming showdown with Jake Paul, sharing training insights and strategic advice. The two champions reportedly spent time exchanging techniques and discussing different fight approaches, showing genuine respect for each other's craft. Crawford was said to be impressed by Davis's focus and dedication, praising his skill and discipline. He even mentioned that if Davis ever wanted to face him someday, he'd welcome the challenge, not out of rivalry, but out of mutual respect and love for the sport.
Gervonta Davis speaking about you. Is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah, if he want to dare to be great, he can be like all the other fighters that's moving up 2 weight classes and, daring to be great.
You would fight him,
man. Tell him to come up there.
He got to come to win 54.
He said I got a glass chin, so tell him to come and touch it.
Wow,
man.
Gervonta said you got a glass.
He said I got a glass chin. Tell him to come and touch it.
At 147?
At 147. I'll make 147.
Ooh, see, oh man.
You're going to have a pre-camp.
Then what the people gonna say? Oh, he's beating up on little guys.
Gervonta Davis appears to be taking cues from Terence Crawford, one of the most technically skilled boxers in the game today. Crawford's preparation for Canelo Alvarez drew attention for his constant stance changes, balance, and unpredictable rhythm, and now, Davis seems to be adopting a similar approach. Recent training footage shows Tank experimenting with footwork, shifting angles, and even switching stances mid-combination, something fans haven't seen from him before. Observers suggest he's not only inspired by Crawford but also by Jaron "Boots" Ennis, another fighter known for his seamless switch-hitting style. This evolution in Davis's training hints at a strategy to catch Jake Paul completely off guard in their upcoming bout.
Right. This is scary. Gervonta Tank Davis is working on his versatility. We already know he has that ultimate equalizer, that special God-gifted one-punch knockout power. But he also can box. Gervonta Tank Davis, he's very durable, has a chin, never seen him visibly hurt. Gervonta Tank Davis also has great footwork and foot placement. And here you see Gervonta Tank Davis' only shortcoming, pun intended, is his height. He's 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. But as you can see here, he's working on his versatility. He's now working on fighting orthodox. He's naturally a southpaw. Now he's working on fighting orthodox. Great switch hitters, no diddy, in the sport of boxing.
Boxing commentator Showbiz the Adult shared his thoughts on the upcoming fight between Gervonta Tank Davis and Jake Paul, stressing that the matchup must deliver real excitement. He said many fans fear it could turn into a light sparring session, with both fighters holding back to avoid embarrassment. But if that happens, it could ruin their reputations overnight. According to Showbiz, fans expect intensity, not a safe exhibition. With both fighters commanding huge audiences that crave action, he believes they can't afford a dull performance, because if the fight lacks energy, all the hype surrounding it will disappear instantly.
It could be career-ending. Jake Paul can end his whole shit. That's the black. Tank can end Jake Paul's whole shit. And if that fight is meh, and it's just a sparring session that's tit for tat, their shit's over. Because people gonna be pissed that it's exactly what they expected it to be. They can't do that. If they do, their career's ruined. Jake Paul's career's ruined, and Tank. If they make it meh and just touch, both their brands suck. That's the black two sugars. You mess around in that bell ring, and you see little Tank, and you see big Jake, and he's throwing a jab, and little Tank making a miss, and bam! And y'all gonna be like, whoa! Say I'm lying. Y'all know what? Yes, say I'm lying. Please say I'm lying. But y'all gonna be right there, cheering, because you ain't never seen nothing that damn bizarre. Even De La Hoya versus Shaq had headgear, and Shaq ain't a boxer. That right there, fireworks. Because you're going to be holding your breath. Especially Tank fans. I'm going to be like, don't hit Tank. You're going to see Tank little ass legs. You're going to, and big ass Jake, big legs and big ass head. Watch. Y'all talk all that shit now because y'all love talking shit. Y'all love hating on things until you see it. Like women back in the 90s. I remember my sisters back in the 90s. You ain't that cute. You ain't, but all on your shit. That's what y'all do. Y'all talk shit, but y'all the first ones there.
Keith Thurman recently addressed the dynamic between Gervonta, Tank Davis and his critics, calling out what he sees as hypocrisy in the boxing community. He noted that the same people who constantly bash Tank's performances are also the first to tune in whenever he fights. According to Thurman, this pattern proves that even his harshest critics are part of his success story. Their constant attention, whether positive or negative, fuels Tank's fame and keeps his name at the center of boxing conversations. Thurman summed it up by saying that every complaint or criticism only adds more spotlight to Davis's growing legacy.
First off, don't watch Tank. Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? You support it, then what you doing? You can't not support and support at the same time, right? So if you're a boxing purist, then this fight with Roach is really more for you. It's going to be more up your alley, you know? If you just like all entertainment, all fights, all hypes, all everything, then you're going to want to tune in to the Tank and Paul's show there, you know, because that's all for entertainment. What is it? For entertainment purposes only, right? It's just say like somewhere in the small print of the promotion. For entertainment, don't do this at home, kids. You know, so fine.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, disclaimer. For entertainment purposes only, you know. So, it's money-making purposes only. You know, it is what it is.
When Claressa Shields recently claimed that the only logical next fight for Gervonta, Tank Davis would be against Shakur Stevenson, her comment struck a nerve. Tank fired back sharply, saying, "No one has the right to tell me what to do." His response carried a clear message: fans should enjoy the fights, not try to manage his career. This reaction seems rooted in deeper frustration. After his controversial draw against Lamont Roach, a wave of fans turned on him online, calling him overrated and overhyped. The criticism clearly left a mark. Now, Davis appears determined to silence the noise and reclaim control of his narrative. His mindset is straightforward. He's fighting for himself, not for validation or approval.
Beat him is Shakur Stevenson, and I don't know who else he said. He said she thought that at a point in time that Devin Haney could beat him, but now she doesn't believe that. But so really the only fight that there is for Gervonta Davis is Shakur. What a mighty, mighty convenient argument. And Gervonta Davis responded, and basically his response was, "Come on, girl, stop talking about me so much because you're making me feel like I'm special." Right? So he pretty much just, kind of blows it off. But I really think that there's something much deeper going on here. And it is that this, and I said it again, I said it in another video, I'll say it in this one, the Bud Buddies. The Bud Buddies are a crew of boxers that all hang around and worship Terence Bud Crawford. And the main two members of it, besides the people that are actually in Terence Crawford's camp, as fighters are Shakur Stevenson and Claressa Shields, without a doubt. Claressa Shields is a huge backer of Terence and a huge backer of Shakur Stevenson. At the end of the day, the only thing she really cares about is what's in the best interest of Shakur Stevenson. And anything and everything she say is angled that way to get Gervonta Davis to do something that Shakur Stevenson wants him to do, which is really do all the hard work and then be there for Shakur Stevenson to become a star at the end of it. I'm telling you, man, I believe that to the bottom of my soul, that is the same plan that Terence Crawford ran on Errol Spence Jr.
The matchup between Gervonta, Tank Davis and Jake Paul stands outside the boundaries of traditional boxing. As many analysts have noted, this kind of fight doesn't represent true sporting competition. It exists somewhere between athletic performance and entertainment spectacle. What makes it even more controversial is that both men are still in their primes. Exhibition fights typically feature aging legends, like Floyd Mayweather's recent showcases, where legacy rather than competition is the selling point. But here, both Davis and Paul are active, ambitious fighters still building their careers. That's what makes this event feel so unusual. It blurs the line between a legitimate boxing contest and a viral entertainment stunt.
This, with fighters pretty much in their prime. But other than the size mismatch, most people are wondering why has Tank taken this fight, and those were the first questions targeted to Tank in this presser, because usually these sorts of bouts are relegated to the latter part of your career. And for most Gervonta Davis supporters, they thought they would get the big fights next, the Shakurs. They didn't think he would be fighting Jake Paul. Although Tank tried to push it off as fans should just be happy watching the sport and hey, haters will be haters, I think that's quite unfair to the people who have been loyal supporters of him and honestly have paid his bills. He tried to compare the level of criticism he gets to the likes of Mayweather, but the difference is with his mentor Floyd, he really did fight a lot of champs in their prime. Has Tank? Well, not really. The most notable fight he's recently had that the people actually wanted was the Ryan Garcia fight, and the only reason he took that fight was because everything was on his terms. And other than the Ryan fight over the last couple years, it's either been people who aren't in his weight division, which he's pulling up, or fighters ranked in the lower half of the top 10 lightweight list. The fights people have truly wanted to see just have never materialized, and simply that's why people criticize him. If the likes of Crawford never fought Spence or Usyk never fought Fury or Joshua, they would have caught the same level of flack. The reason why fighters like them are applauded is because generally they take on whatever challenge is in front of them. Tank instead, his whole career has bobbed and weaved around the most significant challenges that the people actually want to see, unless he has